Nestled in the former western region of Nigeria, now roughly between present-day Oyo and Osun states, Araromi-Oke was a serene and tight-knit Yoruba farming and spiritual community. Its residents thrived on agriculture, hunting, and cultural traditions, including worship of Ogun, the revered Yoruba god of iron and war. Life in the village was everyday yet sacred. Farming families tilled the land, neighbors gathered to share meals, hunters returned with offerings, and hunters and devotees honored Ogun in sacred rituals. It was the year 1957. Nigeria was still under British colonial rule, just a few years away from independence. Across the Yoruba region, small farming villages thrived, places where tradition, family, and faith formed the bedrock of life. Among these settlements was Araromi-Oke, a quiet farming village nestled between thick forests and rolling hills. Its name, Araromi, meaning a place of peace and comfort, reflected its serene way of life. Farmers rose at dawn, women pounded yam in wooden mortar, children fetched water from streams, and hunters returned with game. But Araromi-Oke was not just another farming town. It was also a place of deep spiritual devotion, home to shrines of Ogun, the Yoruba god of iron, war, and labor. For generations, the people of Araromi-Oke had honored Ogun with rituals, sacrifices, and songs, believing that their survival and prosperity depended on his favor. No one could have imagined that within a single day, this thriving village would become one of Nigeria's greatest mysteries. In the cool dawn of 1957, farmers from neighboring villages set out to trade goods with Araromi-Oke. They expected to hear the sound of pestles pounding yam, goats bleating, and smoke rising from cooking fires. Instead, what they found was silence. The village stood intact, its huts, farms, and shrines untouched. Fires still smoldered in cooking pits, as if women had just stepped away. Calabashes of palm wine sat fresh and full, their froth still bubbling. Mortar were filled with half-pounded yam, as if abandoned mid-meal. But there was no one, not a single man, woman, or child. The only living creature left in Araromi-Oke was a goat tied to a wooden post, bleeding endlessly into the emptiness. To the visitors, it was as if the earth had swallowed the entire town overnight. News spread quickly. Neighboring villages sent delegations to investigate. Some believed bandits had attacked, but there were no bodies, no signs of violence, no stolen goods. Others suspected disease, but why would an illness remove every person without leaving a trace? When colonial authorities were informed, they dismissed the story as native superstition. No official investigation was ever carried out. The files, if they existed at all, never made it into the colonial archives. This silence from authorities only fueled fear and speculation. Among Yoruba elders, explanations turned toward the spiritual.
Some whispered that the people of Araromi-Oke had angered Ogun, their patron deity. Perhaps they had failed to make the required sacrifices. Perhaps they had mocked tradition or broken a sacred oath. Ogun, known for his unforgiving wrath, may have taken the villagers into the unseen realm as punishment. Others claimed the land itself was cursed. Oral accounts from nearby communities say that strange lights were seen hovering over the forest in the nights before the disappearance. Some hunters claimed to have heard drums in the distance, yet no festival was taking place. A chilling version of the tale insists that the villagers were taken in a mass abduction by spirits, their souls swallowed into the forest, leaving only the shell of the town behind. Over the decades, the story of Araromi-Oke became a fireside tale told in hushed tones. Elders warned children not to wander too deep into the forest, lest they cross into the forbidden lands where spirits dwell. Some claim that on certain nights, if you walk past the abandoned site of Araromi-Oke, you may still hear faint voices, laughter, drumming, or the cry of a baby carried on the wind. Others say the goat that was left behind was no ordinary goat, but a messenger left behind by Ogun as a reminder of his power. Plus, some believe the villagers left overnight, fleeing a crisis, drought, disease, or slave raids. But if so, why leave food cooking, fires burning, and possessions behind. Others suggest something happened that colonial authorities covered up, perhaps a massacre or forced displacement. The lack of records may not be accident, but intention. To many Yoruba traditionalists, there is no doubt Araromi-Oke was taken into the spiritual realm for violating taboos. Today, the site of Araromi-Oke is rarely spoken of openly. Some say the land is uninhabitable, that any who try to settle there fall sick or meet strange misfortunes. Others believe the spirits of the villagers still walk, trapped between the seen and unseen worlds. For Nigerians, the story of Araromi-Oke is more than a mystery. It is a warning about respect for tradition, the fragility of life, and the thin veil between the world of the living and the world of spirits. Imagine it, a whole town, gone in a single night, fires left burning, pots left boiling, lives interrupted mid-breath. Did they vanish into the forest? Were they erased by men? Or were they claimed by powers we cannot understand? We may never know, but the mystery of Araromi-Oke lingers haunting. Eternal, a reminder that some stories are not meant to be solved, only remembered.